Welcome into another Popwell cast here on the game of the week here for the South Central Satellites versus the Boone Grove Wolves here at Satellite Gym.
All right, yeah, we're looking at the Satellites coming into this 3-7, Boone Grove 2-6, both trying to get out of a 3-game losing streak. Neither have really played any corresponding teams, so looking like a pretty even matchup here. And as we saw from the JV game before, going into overtime and the Satellites winning, looking to
Absolutely.
hopefully forecast for the varsity.
Absolutely. Kind of looking at different days and different games, but with this rebroadcast, um, like you just said, Raina, the JV won in a very thrilling fashion. So let's kind of see, if we didn't know the answer already, how these satellites do. And they're going to come in with a kind of interesting lineup. Freshman Jack Haschel is going to start tonight. Um, he's looked pretty good as that sixth, seventh man off the bench. So he might be their X factor for tonight's ball game here, especially with Colton Bennett, the senior. He's a great driver, but the mistakes that he has made so far in this year has been costly for the Satellites. So kind of just changing up for a little bit of a Jack Haschel here, Raina. But here on RCSPN, we'll be airing the game on YouTube and here on Satellite Sports Network for you guys just in a second. But we are where the athletes come first here on Regan's Corner Sports Network, and both these clubs looking for a win right before the PCC tournament, even though they have two tough draws with South Central playing against Westville, arguably one of the best teams in the PCC, and Boone Grove, I believe, drawing Hebron or Couts. So not
Yeah,
an
two
easy matchup.
rough. Yeah, those are solid teams.
Absolutely. So let's get it started up in here. And play by play will be Raina for tonight's game, and I'll be your color commentator, Josh Reagan.
Yeah, and just I think two players to keep an eye out on Boone Grove is we have the two brothers, Corey and Hunter Noonan, more specifically Corey. But leading scorers, both of them really leading the team on both offense and defense. Probably gonna be some big players here. As
Absolutely.
the Satellites lose the tip off, and Boone Grove brings it up, backing down on our Satellites players. Looking for a quick paced pass and drive here. The Satellites get the ball. So we have Haschel bringing it up. Satellite shooter couldn't quite make it. It was ground all over the floor to get that ball. Already an exciting start.
And
Bodies all over the place.
Jay on the ground already. Jay Ohorta trying to get it and bail out his fellow freshman on that one. Because it was a little chaotic in that opening stretch there.
That really was. There was a lot going on there. It looks like it's going to be a pretty fast-paced, energetic game here. Exciting to see. As Boone Grove's passing around the perimeter, driving it in, pass back out. But you see the Satellites in man defense. Boone Grove shoots it, doesn't quite make it, and we have Hatchell with the rebound. Brings that pass around, they drive in, looking for something. Boone Grove also in man. A tight man at that. Try to shoot it, couldn't quite make it, and Boone Grove gets a rebound. Just really bouncing all over that rim on both sides.
Absolutely. And Haschel trying to go into that kind of floater out there, swinging it to Stroud there, swinging it over, and Horta
Big
with the
three.
three.
Yeah, that's a great way to start. A bit of a chaotic beginning, as we're saying, and a nice dead-on three-point to start the scoring. Spoon Grove's passing around perimeter.
I don't know if it's the game more kinetic or the camera work in here?
It's true. There's a lot. There's a lot of movement. Boone Grove shoots a three. Bit too long. And we have a foul, off-ball foul, and Satellites get the ball.
At Brand Grass with the rebound. The Rooster letting him know after getting that tough rebound there.
Oh, Boone Grove forcing left. And a one-man press. Travel. Porter tries to shoot that three.
Absolutely. But you don't want number 14 to even get the ball open in that much space if you're Boone Grove, because that freshman is probably arguably South Central's best player. Brandon, I would like to see him pump fake and drive, because you could see how much open space that Jay Horta has when they're kind of trying to go up there. Give him a nice little pump and then go, because he's a good ball handler too. But I'd like to see him drive a little bit more when the season kind of goes. Kind of take that development, kind of like what Sam Marks did on the girls' side.
Yeah, and even if he pump fakes, take it, it's not there. A quick pass out, he's probably going to have the defense collapse on him. Someone's going to be open. He's an intimidating player on the court, so I'm sure they have an eye on him.
Absolutely.
He gets the ball again. That's what he just did. Takes it to drive and gets fouled.
Kind of like that. Kind of doing that more often and get him more worried about him driving the ball, because he can kind of get into stages in the game where he's just shoot first mentality.
I'd say he kind of jumped on my radar when he subbed in and kind of got the Satellites back into one of their first games of the season. He became one of my personal favorites. Glad to see him starting and doing well and leading the team. Well, maybe not leading, but setting a great example as a freshman.
Absolutely. But when you have 30 in the holiday tournament, I mean, it's a bright future.
Yeah, that's great to see as a coach, especially a freshman. He's tall.
Absolutely.
Bit of confusion there, but
had a little bit of a freshman break there, kind of stepping out before the shot was even, because he knew it was in, so he stepped out a little bit premature before the rim even the ball hit the rim.
Yeah. The simple mistakes, and the Satellites make a lot of those, little mistakes. They have quite a few turnovers as they get in for a nice little layup there, but that's something that as the season and the freshmen moving up as they progress, they need to get that under control if they want to see any, moving up the ladder in the PCC.
Absolutely. Like we talked about just in another Pop cast with Westville, you can see the same thing with South Central's boys team. Okay, you got talent all across the board, but it's young talent. So,
and another big three from Horta.
Speaking of young talent, Herta, it doesn't get much better in PCC and OJ.
Yeah, you like to see his little. He held his form a little bit, jogged off a little bit. He's feeling the game right now, and that's what you want to see. Satellites 9-0. Boone Grove just trying to look for an opening to get these shots off. They found it with the big three. Those closeouts need to be a bit tighter, too, from the Satellites. As you see, they can make some threes, Boone Grove. So they're going to have to extend their defense.
Absolutely.
Satellites passing it around. A dribble towards and cut. Another take.
And a nice little float action from Colin Ward there.
Yeah, great shot there. Hard to guard. And Boone bringing it up. Looking for another three. Doesn't quite make it. And that's what you need to do. If you shot, you can't run away from your shot. If you want to be a great player, you shoot it and you go after your own rebound. That's what coaches are looking for. The Satellites get in, dribbling in a little mid-range jumper.
Absolutely.
Boone Grove looking to make a play. And a far two, not quite. And we have Colin get the rebound. Horta bringing it up, trying to get a layup. Not there. And Boone Grove gets the ball, bringing it back up after a bit of a bad pass, and they get the layup. Luckily, Satellites didn't foul there. Looked like that could have been a possibility.
The Satellites start fast usually. It's just certain part of this first quarter, in the last 2 or 3 games, they've had laws in the scoreboard. So, and it seems like they're kind of going and having it again. Um, and as a coach, I don't know what you do, because when you start off that hot and then do you slow the game up because you know that law is coming, or do you kind of try speeding it up like a Phil Jackson where you don't want to call a timeout?
Right. No, I think you're right with the first option. You slow it down. The Satellites have a tendency of getting too excited, and that's when they get turnovers. It gets chaotic, and sometimes they're able to pull out of it, like they did in the beginning of this quarter, and get up 13-5. But I've seen other cases where they continuously turn the ball over with bad passes and traveling. So I think as a coach, you just need to teach your players that you need to slow down and you need to think about what you're doing, because that's what's going to benefit them most in the future.
Absolutely. And Spears kind of has the philosophy of controlled chaos, but the Satellites need to slow it down a little bit
They need to
mentally.
get the controlled part first. As soon as they foul there, a silly foul, um, out of position, reaching, and Bougro gets to the line for the first time.
And here's kind of where it's going. You can see the kind of the wall here where Boone Grove is starting to kind of go and drive with a will that you kind of want to see from the Satellites a little bit. Because Matt Morrison talked a little bit about it in the Westville game, that you want to kind of out-muscle your opponents here.
Yeah, I think that the thing that the girls team that the boys team doesn't have is that consistency that wears down those teams. So they have to find a different way of going about winning their games, and I think that they do that by they figure out who's hot. Right now, it seems like it's Horta and a little bit of Jack Hatchell. They seem to be doing good, and I think the team needs to see that, recognize that, and get the ball to them.
Absolutely. I think a little bit more box sets and getting people in space, because they have good athletes on the offensive side. Because you see with Anderson on the girls' side that their offense is just, it goes like a controlled chaos kind of thing where they're never too high, never too low. Where Satellites are just overthinking of the next pass here and overthinking everything, almost like that camera angle right there.
Right, and you see just a bit of over dribbling too. The girls' satellites team does not have a problem with over dribbling whatsoever, which is a rare case, I would say. Um, when you're in trouble, you kind of just want to dribble around, but doing that, you're not looking at the court and seeing one of your players that's open, and potentially for uh, the defense being out of position, getting a free shot or a foul.
And you guys draw a charge on that play
Yeah,
there.
you got to sell it. It's just selling it there.
I mean, you can't just let somebody open with an open space. I mean,
Yeah, if you have time, you know where you need to be, right? You need to get there, get your feet set, arms up, and if they get in contact with you, you fall down.
absolutely.
As he makes a second one, Satellites bringing it up. Keeping that fast pace, sprinting around, which is good to see, as again, almost throwing it away. And then it ends up they do. And Blue Grove looking for a layup, and they get fouled. Yeah, I'm just saying, like, turnovers often lead into fouls.
Cotton Ward kind of tried doing what I just said, but the Boone Grove player was just a little bit more athletic and voided him completely. And the Rooster, Brandon Grass, hits him on the back end for the and one opportunity.
Yeah, first time Satellites losing the lead here, 14-13, after that 3-point play. And, they call that timeout there. Good timeout. As we
The
thank our
port's
sponsor,
number
All Star
one
Auto.
used car dealer, All Star Autos, is a proud sponsor of Riggins Corner Sports Network. All Star Autos specializes
Absolutely.
in high quality used vehicles and excellent customer service. You could say it's out of this world. They pride themselves on making your car experience as easy and stress free as possible. You can view their inventory and apply for credit at allstarreport.com. They offer financial for everyone, have a large inventory of cars, trucks, and SUVs. So next time you're in the market for a new vehicle, check out All Star Autos, the original no pressure.
Right, and they come out of the timeout here. Another big thing's All Star Auto, one of our sponsors. The Satellites bringing it up, fast pace, coming out hot, and a wide open three. Not quite, a little too long, and Boone Grove gets a rebound. They bring it up, and they're passing it around, looking to get a three, it looks like. And now they get a little mid range jumper, and it's good. Decided to come and bring it up. Far passes here, keeping the pace quick.
Absolutely.
Lots of driving and a good one there from
Derek
Derek Welsh.
Derek Welsh absolutely driving there, finding it being a PT peer on that one.
Oh, a great rebound there from Horta. Satellites bring it up. Passing it around. Oh, a little scrubble. But the Satellites get possession of it. You see a frustrated Boone Grove coach there, as there is a foul. And the Satellites are taking it out the sideline.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think I'm loving the pace here. I think it's fitting both teams pretty well. We do see a little bit of Butterfingers on the Satellite side, but it ended up getting them a foul there. So, oh yeah, wide open there at the bottom. So we get a three, little off, and Bungo gets a rebound. Oh, or
Timeout Boone Grove to kind of see what you do here on a full court. Take that back. I checked myself with the time on that one. It's the second quarter here. Yeah. So, what did
yeah.
you guys see from Boone Grove in the first quarter?
I think we're seeing from both teams some very close man defense working pretty well, and it's coming. Both their offense is a bit hard to follow here, just because it's like we said, a bit chaotic, but it's honestly working pretty well for both teams. Satellite's only down by 2. As you said before, they're in that kind of lull, seeming to get out of it now. I'm hoping to see that in this beginning of the second quarter.
Yes, I mean, to a team like Boone Grove, you can kind of get right because they're just like South Central, where they're kind of an underachieving kind of team, where you have two really good twins with the
Yeah.
Noonans, but one of them is hurt currently. So
Oh.
you get that 1-2 punch. That's like for you Satellite fans. Let's say during volleyball season, one of the Schmack sisters is hurt. Okay,
Yeah.
so that's
Big
a
loss there.
big loss for Boone Grove.
Right. Not only for the leadership, but I'm sure them being twins, right? They have that bond. They have those plays together. I'm sure that they're missing here. But Boone Grove seems to be handling it very well as they shoot the second 3 attempt. Couldn't make it. They get the rebound again, and they make that layup there. The Satellites are
Absolutely.
bringing it up. A great take and a dish out. Again, a little long. They seem to be a little long here. The Satellites need to tune in a little bit more, and they'd be up by quite a bit, I think, once they get their shots into range.
I think in a pass like that, you need to drive to the basket.
Yeah, that's
Especially
what you're thinking, not the 3.
I'm not thinking the 3. I think you need to chip in kind of into that lead a little bit. With Colton Bennett's finishing ability, I feel like driving is a more better option there.
Hmm.
But if they're even coming out, because Colton can knock down a three. So if you're on a scouting report, you're going to assume to get on top of him. Okay. But in that sense, he can go pump fake, go right around him, finish with a possible 3-point play in that situation. But he sells for the three, and it goes on the opposite side for the Boone Grove.
Yeah, and that also just takes IQ of yourself. You need to know maybe you're off today and maybe your threes aren't on, and so those, like you were saying before, the drive is just what you need to do. And I think around the second quarter is when you should kind of have that figured out a little bit. I think I agree with what you're saying. The driving is working for the Satellites. The 3
Absolutely.
points aren't there today. Oh,
Absolutely.
as we see there.
As we see the last two plays, Colton Bennett's driving, so then he's starting to get points, starting to get rolling.
Yeah, and it's bringing energy too. You're seeing I gotta say, Clayton Strouds has to work on his closing out abilities. I've seen a few times here on defense. Oh, sorry. On defense, he's just a little too excited, right? Running past his defender or getting beat when he's trying to close out. And that's just taking, some fundamentals of basketball's discipline on defense.
Absolutely. And Colin Ware just absolutely knocking it down from downtown. Now we're going to go into picture-in-picture here with All-Star Autos. Thank you for the sponsorship and this picture-in-picture sponsor here, where we're going into the coach's corner. Kind of see what they're kind of talking about, and that big student section that's usually for a PCC game very hyped up.
Oh yes, and the Satellites back in the lead by 22-21. Good. He kind of out of that drought, as we were saying before. I think they're figuring it out that the driving is how they're going to beat this team. Maybe the 3 points will come at some point, but it's just not what's happening right now, and that's okay. Boone Grove's bringing it up.
All these players right now are 3-point shooters, but they're rhythm 3-point shooters.
Exactly.
A little bit difference than a set 3-point shooter. You can just get the shot no matter what they do, which they all can drive. You want them to drive a little bit more passing, just because of that reason alone. Where now you got Lawton back, now you're going to go inside a little bit more.
Yeah, now you have that height back in there. I'm hoping to see him get some rebounds too. That's what we're needing. If they're gonna shoot threes, they need to rebound, and that's what height is there for. And Buchgrund passing it on the sideline, just setting up their offense here, passing it around, finding something open. The Satellites defense looking pretty great right now. A bit of a step off, not as close as before. A deep three. Not quite. A little long.
A little wrong there.
Back call.
He went to Steph Curry range there.
He was. That was a deep three. Almost made it too. A little too strong.
Just a little bit too strong there, man. A little bit too strong.
A press from Boone Grove. A bit of a shallow diamond, it looked like. And they get the ball out of that.
Absolutely, because Horta just drives right into him.
Yeah. Understandable freshman kind of, you're feeling out the team a little bit. Boone Grove passing around, bring it in. Nice. A little jumper right up by the basket. Satellites bring it back up, threw it away, and Boone Grove gets it right back.
Absolutely.
Bring it down. Ooh, coast to coast. And gets the foul, doesn't make the shot. Oh, we got the charge call. Big call there. You love those. Those are pretty
big hustle play.
Plays. Yeah.
Big hustle play. Momentum there. especially when the press there, because we kind of talked about how South Central wants to go fast. Kind of Ricky
do.
Bob. They want a Ricky Bobby mentality here, but they gotta kind of focus on it.
Yeah, now that the press is there, they can't just sprint down the court. They got to pass around a little bit, and it seems to be messing up their flow as Boone Grove gets the ball again for a 3. Ooh, way long. And Horton gets the rebound.
And the fans let him know.
Right. If you're the Satellites and you airball, you know you airball. We have Colton for a putback layup.
This is where Colton Bennett is his best. When he's this hustle player, when he's driving like this.
Yeah, exactly. And the Satellites are in a 2-3 now. I'm a bit worried about that 2-3 as you saw those close out was a little late, but Boone Grove ended up missing anyways. Another 3, too short. And we have Strauss with the rebound taking it up too. It's ball stolen.
And Stroud kind of was trying to look for available players. So when you look at your guard in trouble right here, you got to come in the middle of the court. Especially in a close situation right there, you could get a bucket, okay? Because this is about getting buckets, just like what Colton Bennett just did. He's getting buckets.
Right, and it's, again, you break a press by passing, and you need that middle player there to either distract the defenders or to get open to really regain possession of the court. And Boone Grove has the ball on offense, taking a drive. Another charge.
Yeah, you don't come into on boxes.
Oh, and
So-
it's looking like Holt needs a why can I not think of the word right now? I'm literally blank on the word. What's it called when someone a sub? He needs a sub. There we go.
You need a sub, either for a contact or a breather.
It looked like he was a bit exhausted. Understandably, he's been going coast to coast for a while.
Absolutely.
Brought the Satellites score up to 26-25. Satellites keeping that 1-point lead. Oh, another great take and a pass to Green and a foul.
And the big man, Brendan Lundback, is getting fired up after that great little shuffle pass from Colin Ward.
A great pass there. Unselfish. Seeing his teammate wide open and knew that Lundback was going to make it happen. He's on the line for this 3-point play. The Satellites are up 28-25, extending their lead for the first time in quite a bit.
Absolutely.
Interesting form there. I like that. Doesn't make it though. Ooh, a lane violation. So he gets a redo there. You know, those small mess ups happen. I was expecting, you know, it happening from these two teams. It keeps it a bit more exciting, I would say. A little bit of randomness added to it. And again, a little short.
And
Booth
Derek
Groves
Welsh
bringing it up.
trying to box him out and just falls on the play.
Yeah, but you'd love to see that hustle. He really wanted it.
And the boys going back into their zone here.
And to bring it up. Ooh. I thought he was
Higley
gonna
with
shoot
the
it.
rebound there.
Throws it away though.
Throws it away.
And a foul. Again, those turnovers often lead to fouls. So, like I was saying before, that's something that the Satellites have to focus on. If they get those turnovers down, their whole game's going to change.
Absolutely. But way that he hustled. Do we think he got armed though? Do we?
I mean, you know, refs can be wrong, but we have Horta back in. Excited to see what he's going to do. And he's back on this play, but we'll see him soon. Boone Grove hits that shot. 26-28. Satellites bring it up. We have Higley coast to coast. And Boone Grove's bringing it back up. And we have that back into 2-3, it's looking like. And great defense there by Derek Welch, keeping those arms up. And the Satellites get the ball after a missed floater. Bringing it in, shooting a 3. Again, just a little bit off. They're just not quite locked in on the 3-point line.
Not really, but great job
Great
by
take.
great
by
job before the take with Jack Haschel getting that tough rebound and kind of getting the ball swinging so Colton Bennett can come around and make that tough draw foul there.
Yeah, like you were saying before, Bennett is really doing great with these takes to the basket. Almost always capitalizing on it. Getting a foul. High fouls here, both 7 and 7.
You almost want to see them doing a little bit more box sets. That way, guards kind of like a Grass, where he's going against the center usually, or a Welsh, or even a Bennett gets into open space to slower defenders and kind of goes and do their thing. Because
Right, and they're catching them flat-footed too. Boone Grove is getting a bit lazy down low on defense. Oh, there's another deep 3 there though. Tying it up 30-30. Ooh, and a slip there by Kevin Higley, and then Boone Grove gets the ball back, looking for another 3. A little bit off. Looking like it was off the sidelines. No, it wasn't off Boone Grove. Solid gets the ball, they get to bring it up. Boone Grove no longer doing their press, so looking to see the Satellites set up their offense and get a good shot here. Looking for another drive, and Horta seems to be the point guard. He's bringing it up. His defender meets him at half court, and he passes it off to Kevin Higley. He's looking around, making something happen. Gets in for a layup, gets fouled.
as we kind of said a little bit, they're kind of going into a nice little ISO kind of triangle kind of formation there. Trying to get their open spaces, trying to kind of get their athletes in space a little bit. You can see Eric Spears kind of adjusting with his team a little bit more this year.
Yes, as I was saying before the beginning, they need to get the controlled part down first before they can get that controlled chaos. And like we were seeing there, they got their offense set up, and they were able to spread out and let Kevin Higley kind of do his thing and get fouled there. Looking to see more of that in the rest of minute left of the second quarter. And Boone Grove brings it up. Ooh, there's a lot of fancy footwork and a little bit of a spin there, and the Boone Grove gets a floater.
Yeah, Raina, he put him in the spin cycle.
He really did. That was just great offense there.
Absolutely. And Clayton Stroud got bailed out on that one with a deflection of Boone Grove with that pass on this one. It is 43 seconds to go here, almost in the second half. Is almost done here. This is going pretty fast. This is going faster than what I thought.
It is. I mean, they've slowed it down like quite a bit since the beginning, but it's still, sprinting, and I love to see that. As we look there, taking it deep, looking for the 3. Not quite, a little off, but he gets his own rebound. Horta, and gets fouled. That's what you're looking to see there. That's what I'm talking about. You know your 3s are off. You got to go in for your own rebound, and you often get fouled when you do that, or you get an easy layup because they're not expecting the shooter to go in for their own rebound.
Absolutely. That's what you love seeing hustle from the freshman. But in that shot, in that situation, a good pass, rhythm shot, you don't mind seeing that take, especially with a shooter with Herta.
Exactly. That's a good take. He's been on, I think, if I had to choose someone on the sideline to shoot a 3, it would be him. So, like you're saying, good look, and he turns it into possibly a 2-point play. It's on the line. Does a little long there, and Boone Grove gets a rebound. They're slowing it down too, looking like they're setting up their offense. Looks like 2 guard and 3 people down low. Spreading that 2-3 defense out.
Looking like they have a 4 out, 1 in offense here. Trying to set up picks and trying to get into formation for the guards and forwards while having that center in the low post.
They're loving that deep 3, and you saw our satellite player trying to make that shot.
Absolutely. Very tough. And then here's the Noonan brother, who is hurt, out in the camera's way before the commercial.
Reports #1 used cars
A little. Oh, as if you hear Josh in the background. What are you expecting to see in the second half?
I just want South Satellites to keep it competitive, kind of what they have been doing. Before they have that fast run, I want them to get more controlled with kind of their offense. Yeah, you want to go fast, but I want them mentally to be more controlled with that, more of a kind of mentality towards it, going faster and stuff like that instead of speeding it up in their minds, where you could see them kind of speeding it up.
Yeah, I'm expecting to see kind of a chaotic start. I think that's often how when they come out of long breaks, they seem to have a lot of energy. They're ready to go. But what I'm hoping to see, like you were saying, is to slow it down in their minds and to set up the offense, like we were seeing towards the end there, and it was working well. It looked good too. They're getting solid passes, getting good looks, fouls. Not the same for Boone Grove, I would say. I'd say when they got to set up their offense there, the Satellites defense was pretty on point.
Absolutely. And our Warner's X factors. So how is Corey Noonan and Jay Horta kind of stacking up with one another?
Yeah, just looking at the stats, very, very close, especially in, just scoring. And you're kind of seeing that here, I would say. Corey being the leader that he's normally been for Boone Grove, and Horta coming in here really, I would say, dominating. He's kind of setting the tone a bit for the Satellites, which is exciting to see. Good to see as a coach. As we were saying before, he has the hustle. He wants to win, and I think him along with Colton Bennett have just been playing a solid game today.
Absolutely. And we're going to speed it up because it's a very long game here, and it's anyone's ball game.
Yeah, they're fouling a lot. Hoping to see that go down for the Satellites. But with the fast-paced game that they're doing, it's to be expected. High fouling. Refs seem to be calling it too. I think the refs have been doing a very good job of keeping it safe. At the very beginning, lots of bodies all over the place, looking a little bit scary, and we've seen that a little bit throughout the rest of the game too. As we saw, I believe it was Bennett try to get that steal, ended up on the ground, and I've seen a few times Boone Grove going after a layup, end up on the floor.
Absolutely. And let's see here.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I lost train of thought here.
All right. We have the Satellites bringing it up, getting caught at that sideline, and Boone Grove gets the ball, taking in for a... that was a long layup there. A bit of a reach, and you get the foul, too. Boone Grove's on the line.
That was kind of a Space Jam-esque kind of...
like a hook shot layup.
Yeah, I mean, do we call him the Flash? Do we go and be like, that's kind of the internet in South Central? Or, like, man, because he just zipped up that court.
I know, he was he got a little bit of energy out that halftime. He's ready to go.
Absolutely.
As we see Bennett taking it to the hoop. Didn't get an opening, though. But Welsh didn't quite make it, though. And Boone Grove's bringing it back.
An important thing to kind of look at in that layup, Colin Ward was looking at the defender coming in, so he switched it to the opposite hand that you're supposed to go when you're on that side. So it affected his shot in finishing at that moment.
Oh wow, good look there. I didn't see that, so that was nice. Nice to know. Oh, we have Horta bringing it in. Didn't make it though. Didn't get the foul call that he was looking for either.
Absolutely. It seems like these refs last couple of nights have been kind of letting them play and kind of taking it towards the players' hands a little bit more.
I'd say that's to be expected later in the season. Refs are letting them play the game. They've been playing for a while now. The players should kind of know. Should be, enough back into the game to know how to be safe yet fast. So I think that's why the refs are being a little bit lenient here.
Absolutely. Yeah, Horta draws that foul. Misses the first one. You got to have it in these kind of tight games.
You really do. Those free throws will bite you in the butt. They're down 3, 35-32. So these are important. He's
And
able
he
to.
knocks the second down.
And Boone Grove bring it back up. Looking for a drive, and they get it. Doesn't quite make it, though. Oh, great fight there.
And Clayton Strout just a little bit in and out there. Great move. Great take. Just got to finish.
Yeah, these finishing, again, the other finish just slightly off. Just looking for a little bit more focus, which is kind of hard to do when you're having this fast of a pace. Oh, a great pass down there to Colin Welsh. He makes that layup. Ooh, I love those back doors. Those are just always great points to get.
Absolutely. Colin to Derek for a nice little 1-2 punch on that one. A nice little backdoor play.
Yeah, the Satellites having strong man defense, getting a little poke at the ball there. Locking him down, not really leaving an opening. And we have they do get it down low, yeah, but that was solid defense by the Satellites, and they just got into their post player. Probably looking there, learn from our mistakes. Ooh!
And you can't leave a shooter like that wide open for Miles with Jay Horta getting in rhythm.
Yeah, great point there. Again, Horta showing why he's the X factor of this game. Not quite, but they call a foul. Let's see who that was on. It was on Boone Grove, so Satellites get the ball back and they're bringing it up. Having the lead by 1, 38-37. A great,
and a block
there. Blocked. And not Boone Grove, they're able to take it coast to coast. A little bit of sportsmanship there, teammate helping his other teammate out.
Absolutely.
Ooh, you gotta make those. Again, looking for that foul and not looking for the shot.
And the Rooster just a little bit over the rim there, and Clayton Strout throws it away. And Boone Grove finished on the other end while their player got hurt on the previous play. And the fans are letting the head coach know.
Yeah, we saw that before as one of his teammates had to help him up. Luckily, Boone Grove got to score within that time, but sad to see another one of their players hurt. Hopefully he gets back in the game soon.
You can tell how young Boone Grove's coach is because he interacted with the fan who was screaming at him.
Yeah, I mean, also, as a fan, you have a responsibility to keep your emotions in check, but even much so as a coach, I understand it's hard as a young coach, especially in a game like this. It's close, it's high energy, high pace. You saw he got frustrated a little bit earlier before too. It's hard to keep your emotions aligned, but that's part of the job.
Absolutely, but we don't know how much this fan has egged him all year because it was his home fan at Boone Grove. So,
I bet. Yes. Oh, a long pass to Stroud. Oh,
and
and he makes it.
Stroud with a free ball.
Big point for him. He's been kind of a 50-50 player. He's led to quite a few turnovers, but he's a hustler. He gets quite a few hustle plays too.
That's his game. He's a light run. Okay,
Mhm.
that's why he's in the starting lineup. He's a hustler. He can knock down a 3-point jump shot. My comp to him is Grayson Allen from Duke. Okay, uh, you love him if you're a teammate. You hate him if you're on the opposite side. Okay, because he's one of those players who's going to be on you.
Right,
Okay,
he's scrappy.
great kid.
Yeah, great. Love to see him doing well in this game. As Higley tries to take it coast to coast, doesn't quite make it, and Boone Grove gets the rebound, bringing it up. They do a little bit of drive. Ooh!
And a nice
Strauss
little
again.
steal there from Stroud. And
Oh,
just
great. He
give
passes
it
it,
a
gives it
little-
away from Bolton.
Give
This
a
is
little
lay.
give a go there. It's a little Colton Bennett for a nice little action. See, this is kind of what you want to see from the satellites a little bit more with a little driving action and kind of getting into the lane.
Right, yeah, and you're seeing the teamwork that they've developed over the season kind of play out there too. Again, Strauss Bennett couldn't capitalize on that 3-point though. But it's nice to see the satellites working a lot better together than I have seen them before.
Absolutely. Because you can kind of see that rhythm kind of piece to everything. If they're not in rhythm, then the jump shots aren't falling.
Mhm. Oh yeah, you could bad foul there. You kind of just have to get in front of them, arms up. See, Strauss, he's gassed a little bit. He's hustling out there. I can't blame him. You see, looking to bench. Kind of hoping he's gonna get subbed. Oh, okay, timeout. Let's see if he's still back in there after this timeout. But he's been, I would say, top player in this quarter. Making a lot of plays for the satellites.
He makes a lot of the dirty plays. Okay. Just that farmer mentality kind of plays here. Speaking of farmers, we proud sponsor Warner's Farms, one of the leader corn and bean farmers in LaPorte County. Go find their information at Warner's Farms on Google and go ask what if you see Trisha or Adam Warner about further information about their products. But let's get back to the action.
And we have Boone Grove at the line. Makes the first one. Great form there. As that brings the Wolves 42-43. Satellites winning by 1. The Satellites have been able to keep that 1-point lead, but a lead is a bit of a stretch to say. Yes, it's just 1 point. But by bringing it up, they've gotten their fouls down quite a bit, only 2 on each team. Strauss bring the ball up, over dribbling a bit. He's got to keep his head up, and he's able to find Horta. Just looking to make a play here. Not quite. It seems like it bounced off his shoe, and it becomes a jump ball. All right, it's looking like Boone Grove is going to get the jump ball there. And they're bringing it up. The Satellites are in man. Pretty close again. Ooh, another spin move there. It's working out pretty well, but he misses that layup. And Strauss bringing it up, the pass. Horta ends up with it, and he travels. Second travel of the game. Bit of too fast, again, his mind not as quick as his body there.
And usually the calm Derek Welsh, you could tell, was visibly upset with that because he felt like the freshman should have swinged it a little bit more, and he is correct on that one.
He is. It just wasn't quite there. Like you said, maybe 1-2 more passes that drive might have been.
If Horta
It looks
gives
like-
one more pass, drive, Welsh 2, and you're winning this ball game by more than 1 point. Because right now, that 1 point is a suggestion.
Yes, exactly. Boone Grove passes it in from the baseline. Oh, yeah. Reached it a little bit too much there. And that's a foul on Derek Welsh.
His third. Team's third.
His third. A little bit of foul trouble here.
Returning to the satellite lineup,
The foul was on
number
Colton
4,
Bennett there.
Oh,
Like he live when we were watching this game live when I was in satellite gym, I thought it was a foul on Derek Welsh as well for reaching in, but it was
Yeah.
a body foul. They got him on a body on Colton Bennett for his third.
all right. You know, again, just got to refocus now as the Satellites. Deep three, a little too short. And we have the Satellites bringing the ball up, looking to make a fast point, but it's not there, and they make the smart choice of bringing it back out. You have the little dribble in and dribble out, and Horta a little short. We have a foul, not on the shot, but the Satellites get to pass it in off the baseline.
Looking back on it, I agree with that call because he fouled him on the kind of box out that he was trying to go. Linebacker did a great job of selling it.
Let's get the ball into Horta. Looking to make a play is our Braden Grass got subbed in, and he has the ball down at the post. Ooh, passes it away for Boone Grove to get a layup. Not what you want one of your plays to be when you just sub back in. That's all right. You make up for it now. That's what you do in basketball. 3
Absolutely.
too short, and Horta tries to get that foul by going back up, but Boone Grove just gets the ball, and they're going in for their own layup. And we have a foul by Grass.
Brandon, I don't know. I don't know. With this Euro step, I'm going to sound like an old head here. But it just, I don't know what a travel is anymore. Because the guy took like 6 steps.
I know, I was looking at that. He took 1, 2, and then he got fouled.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You know, you had to be careful with your steps. The whole point is you're taking big steps that change your direction. So you do have to be careful. It is easy to travel on those. And we have Grass subbed out for, who was that?
Strout. Clayton Strout.
Yeah, he just doesn't quite see him in the game. Grass, I think that's a good sub there. Maybe just needs a little talking to, and he's normally a great player. I love when he's in, but just a few mess ups there.
Absolutely. Can't wait to see him on the baseball diamond this year.
Oh yeah, very exciting. Oh, we have Forza with the ball. Yep. You saw that. Great salvo for that charging call.
Absolutely.
That seems to be the basket to get the charges, though, with the Satellites getting 2 down there in the previous half.
I
The
mean,
Satellites have lost their lead.
Brandon, you're being nice. He
He was not set there.
He was ice road trucking.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. That was I could see why the ref made that call there, but I did not see his feet set, so. And then we have Boone Grove passing around perimeter. Driving in. Nothing there. Looking for it again. And the Satellites, great As I was just saying, great defense. They call a foul on that one. I believe that's on Welsh.
Enter alumni here coming out here. It was kind of a little bit of a ticky-tack, okay? A little bit of a touch foul, but probably did get him a little bit on the wrist.
I mean, from how they were calling the beginning half of this game, that foul seems a bit odd, but it seems like they're calling this one a little bit closer since at the beginning of that quarter they didn't really call a lot of fouls. And Boone Grove gets a 3.
And Boone Grove is benefiting with that 3 ball.
reaching, I think, their biggest lead of the game of 5, 48 to 43. Satellites have a nice little layup response now.
The Satellites have a pretty good group of freshmen.
They really do. It's really promising, and that's, probably why you're seeing the excited energy, create these turnovers. That's just classic. What happens when you're a freshman, But they seem overall definitely they make up for it.
Honestly, I might start my freshman. Because you got stalwarts like Graston and Welsh that have not been playing up to their preseason expectations.
Ooh. Oh,
And there's the
That's a
buzzer
good-
beater.
oh my gosh.
And
I don't know
it
about
was just after the buzzer.
I don't know. I want a little replay of that one about Boone Grove.
We ain't going to ship to Boston on that one.
All right, and we have the end of the third. Wolves up 48-45. It's been kind of the same. They've both been playing at the same level. Really, since the beginning of the game in the first half. Really, no big droughts or leads from either of the teams. Pretty exciting play.
Absolutely. It's been going pretty fast.
I love it so much. Boone Grove even brought theirs. There's lots of cheers. Seeing some new stuff. Ooh.
Yeah, I
Very
mean,
nice.
the PCC is pretty much a very great kind of conference where you get all this stuff and all this.
A
It's
live band too.
live band. It's one of the oldest conferences in Indiana, who is basically a basketball hotspot. Speaking of basketball hotspots, down in Brownsburg, around this time, live, there was a kid who broke the backboard like Shaquille O'Neal.
Oh yes, I believe I saw that on my TikTok earlier. You're talking about like the whole thing came down, like the metal bars.
Yeah, it was Shaq-like, but
Very dangerous. But probably the peak of that kid's life, I would say. Talking about that forever.
absolutely. But I
the
talked
Sat-
about it a little bit more. Do the school charge him for it, or did they just say, "Good job, kid"? That you're healthy.
Yeah, I don't think they get charged, but someone has to pay for it. So
And
I think it falls on the school at that point because I think it's faulty equipment. It shouldn't fall down no matter how hard you dunk it.
And speaking of paying for it, nice little 3-ball to tie it up. Mark
Oh, air
Jackson
bubble.
always said, hand down, man down.
Yeah.
And
I love
reverse
that.
first layup there gets them back into the lead.
And the Satellites try to. Ooh. Probably foul there, but it's all right. Boone Grove gets it. They bring it up. Running with a post now instead of 5-out drive. And a foul on the Satellites. As Boone Grove tries to take it in for a layup.
Satellite shooting foul. Number 1, Colt
As we're
Bennett.
seeing Satellites 7 fouls now. So they need to tone it down a bit. They don't want the Wolves to get to double bonus too soon. As you see, those free throws mean everything when the game's this close.
Returning to the
Satellites only down by 2 as Boone Grove misses their first free throw. 44-48 Boone Grove. Oh, sorry, 48-50 Boone Grove. As they're looking at their second free throw. And it's good. Satellites bring it up. We have Cole Welsh taking it quick off the dribble.
Ward off the dribble, and Stroud with a rebound there, Reina, and he's going to probably try swinging it here to get Welsh a Nice little basket. Welsh tries a little bit too hard there. Almost ends up injuring himself trying to get the ball out of the Boone Grove hands.
That's what you have to be careful here. As we said before, one of the twins, Hunter Noonan, is injured. Injuries are big during this part of the season. You know, you've been in the game for a while. You're tired. Your body's a little tired. You gotta be extra careful in not getting injured at this pivotal part of the season.
Especially since the state tournament's just around the corner. I mean, it's only a month away at this point in time when you're playing. You got the conference tournament the following week where you have it almost every. You have a double header on Saturday. You have a game on Thursday or Friday. And it's always tight in that tournament. These boys are going to play on Wednesday against arguably the best team in the PCC, even though they lost to Couts. Couts blew out South Central by almost 50 when they were at Couts. But these Satellites are playing a lot better ball.
They really, really are. I believe I saw that game. It was, lots of turnovers. They've definitely taken it down. It's still an issue, but not as bad as they missed the free throw there. That was pretty off. Looking to refocus to make the second one. It's down by 3. With only 6 minutes left in the fourth quarter, and Boone Grove's bringing it up. As we have a little dribble a little bit into the paint. Oh, great pass there, and they make that layup.
You call that a nice little give and go action right there because they were really in sync because they were saying bye, bye, bye to the defenders. Just like what Derek Welsh just did.
Yeah, just great offense there by Derek Welsh. And we have Boone Grove shooting a 3, not quite. The Satellites get the rebound, bring it up pretty quick. Not trying to let Boone Grove set up in their defense. Ooh, faked him out with a 3 as he hands it off to Welsh, and he gets that nice layup and a foul.
And Welsh is very much primed on that one because he definitely should have got an and one on the play.
He should have, and I thought that's what that was, but nope. Whistle for the subs.
Injury timeout on the floor.
Oh, injury timeout.
Returning for the Wolves, number 12, Zach Borline.
Did you see who got hurt there?
There was a Wolf down on the play.
Wolves unlucky with their injuries recently. 2 people in this game got hurt. I believe they've been back in.
Yeah,
But still.
The center came up kind of wobbling a little bit off of that, but when you hit the offense player so much, you're going backwards. Maybe it should be a call either way, but who'd you say? Who'd you say? I'm not a zebra right now. But Stroud throws it to Welsh. And Derek Welsh driving.
Keeping them in it. Satellites now at the lead, 54-53. With 4:40 left on the clock. Great game so far. As Boone Grove's passing around the perimeter. Just looking for an open shot that the Satellites really aren't giving them.
Satellites coming alive with Derek Welsh because after his 2 kind of buzzer beater kind of games, he's been kind of silent lately. But it's good to see Derek kind of getting going.
Ooh, confident deep 3, not quite though. But you gotta watch 33 on Boone Grove. He does the same spin move. It's very effective. He ended up missing that shot last time, but in the previous times when he's dribbled in, did a little spin move, it's been an easy layup.
Absolutely.
So it's something Satellites have to recognize and know that he's gonna do that spin and someone there to help as they are in the zone.
And this All-Star Autos breakdown is sponsored by All-Star Autos in LaPorte, Indiana. But like what you've been saying, Raina, this is what scouting comes in. This is where you, as a program, need to do some scouting on teams that you're going to be playing. Especially when you have broadcasters like regional sports in the area. You have several things at your fingertips. You got huddle, you got everything along the lines. A kid whose favorite move is a spin move. That's easy to defend, where you can just sit in the paint, wait for him to come, and then it should be the other way if you're set. But that's kind of where basketball IQ comes into play. But when you're hustling and when you're kind of in the moment, you're not thinking that clearly.
Yeah, right. That's also on the players. Again, it's easier said than done. Right, when you're on the court, it's kind of, the players get mixed up in your head, but seeing him and, talking on defense, that's big. Is you're going to say, hey, I got ball. That means one of your teammates could be down there helping you. And the Satellites bring it up for a mid-range jumper that doesn't quite make it, and Boone Grove gets the rebound.
Absolutely.
Boone Grove with their normal offense. A little bit of dribbling, drive in a bit, and they go for that elbow shot. It's a little long. The Satellites get the rebound, trying to take it coast to coast. Again, just off the back of that rim. And Boone Grove gets a rebound, trying to make a little... Ooh! Great layup there. And it looks like we're having a timeout.
Timeout. Boone Grove. 30-second timeout.
What do you think they're talking about in that huddle?
Reports number one used car dealer.
Boone Grove or South Central?
Boone Grove.
Boone Grove. You just got to get you guys settled down. You come into Satellite Gym, South Central's been struggling almost all year. They've been playing a little bit better lately, because you've seen even in the tournament that they were hosting. But you've been struggling yourself. So you got to kind of weather the kind of momentum that South Central's having at home and kind of get back to what you're good at. Kind of stretching out the floor, kind of more pressuring South Central, because that was working.
Right. Yeah, I think both teams kind of recognized going into this is an even matchup here. So it could really go either way. And as we've been seeing, it's been going both ways throughout the game. Wolves right now holding the lead of 1. But Satellites right there, 55-54. Pretty high scoring, too.
Absolutely. And that's another thing. Usually these two teams are pretty much low-scoring games.
Yeah.
Defensively, they're pretty good at times.
The defense have been looking good here. It's just their offense have been pretty phenomenal.
Yeah.
And we have Boone Grove in a bit of a press, bringing 2 men up. And the Satellites break it, though. And we have Colin Ward pass the ball to Stroud, passing it back out. Making good passes here. Not taking a bad shot. Stroud's kind of caught in a trap. And he throws it away, and Boone Grove gets it. Yeah, stuck in a bad position there. Teammate just couldn't get open quick enough. Boone Grove taking it out, letting the offense set up. Yeah, the first time we've really seen the sort of offensive play, and they take it in for a layup. Miss the rebound, and make it.
Absolutely. Draw the Wolves into a 3-point game here.
Yeah, Boone Grove coming out of this timeout a bit dominant, both in their defense and offense showing there. Clearly timeout worked. Oh, a nice fake. Drives in but passes it out. Horta. He makes it.
I mean, you got to see in the clutch what their percentage is, because they could be missing all game long, but when they're in the clutch situations like they are tonight, they're pretty much lights out. The Satellites, if you're the coach of the South Central Satellites, you just want your boys to be close because they know how to win close games. But that's been a problem lately, because most of their losses are blowouts. probably 4 out of 6 are absolute blowouts. You got to kind of weather the storm a little bit because you guys, they know how to win when it's close.
Right, and I think that's why we're seeing a lot of the energy here, right? They lost the last 3 blowouts too. So it's fun to be in a game that you're close and it's exciting as they're tied back up 57-57 with 2 minutes 25 seconds in the fourth. And Boone Grove slow to bring the ball up, looking to set up their offense again. And they'll have the 4 up high. Setting a screen cutting. Interesting offense. As they're looking now, with just a post player and 4 out. As nothing was there in that initial play. And then doing a passing cut. Or a little dribble handoff. Satellites defense looking good and a man with a 1 step off kind of. Boone Grove tries to take a long 2, misses off Boone Grove for Satellites to take it out on the baseline. And Horta subbing in for Grass. Grass again not getting a lot of playing time here. But so far Satellites are doing well. With a minute 30, Satellites bringing it up. As we have Ward over dribbling a bit, but he's able to, throws the pass away. Horta not able to jump that high, but he tried his best. And Boone Grove are taking it out. Horta subbed out. Looking at the coach there, get a little in the bottom corner.
Yeah, Spears getting a little frustrated with this referee and core here. Rightfully so on both sides. They've been pretty bad.
Right, you never want to blame it on the ref, but it's very frustrating when it's pretty blatant, as we're seeing here. But Boone Grove is passing it in on the baseline. As they get it in, Satellite's still in their man. Pretty solid still. As they get it down in the middle on Satellite's foul.
Now, that's a good call because you can kind of see the arms coming down. He's not set with his arms there because usually when you're in the post situation, when you're in that situation as a post or even a guard, unless you're having your hands, because they're looking at the wrist at all times.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't have if you have a little flicker with that wrist, it's going to be called every single time.
Especially when it's a 2-on-1 like we saw there.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's rough. It's rough being a defender sometimes. It's very technical. And when you kind of know that they're going to get a shot, best bet is always keep your hands straight up. Don't even jump and just try to take a charge. But that really wasn't the play there.
No, you want to stop him in that situation no matter what. Draw the foul. Probably the one that does not have the foul. And Grass fouls out in that situation.
Foul out?
So that's one reason why he has not been playing so much, because he fouled out. He was getting in big foul trouble during this game.
Yeah, but the Satellites bringing up Horta with a big play there. Stretching that arm out just to get the layup. Tying it up 59-59 with them just under a minute left. Time's counting down. This is nitty gritty right now. You're looking for solid defense. And we have a travel. That's what you're looking for right there. That's a big ego boost to the Satellites and a bit of a decreases the confidence of Boone Grove because it's been embarrassing. You get a traveling call. Just over 30 seconds. Boone Grove pressing. Satellites trying to get it over that half-court line, and they do. Pass it just back and forth. They're able to break that press. Timeout called by Satellites. Tied. What are you thinking right now? Tied, seconds left.
It's very
The
exciting.
port's number one used car dealer.
I
All-Star
mean,
Autos is a proud sponsor
it's
of
almost
Biggest
exciting
Sports
as
Network.
All-Star
All-Star
Autos.
you can play.
But anyway, you got to control the momentum. You got to kind of build on what you've done so far. Because the last couple PCC games that you've been playing in, it has not been this close. Because the last opponent in Hebron, there's no reason why you should lose that game by 20. Because you are similar in skills. But in this game, they're starting to kind of realize that, hey, we can play with these other PCC schools, and building that confidence. And then on Saturday, since this is a rebroadcast, I can go back from that. They've even built that on more, where Whiting is supposed to be a better overall team, even than this Boone Grove team, or even than the Hebron team. And they stayed with 6. But Westville's a different animal. And it's not the same being. Because Westville has athletes that are way better, no offense to Boone Grove.
Right, yeah. Right, and you have to recognize that as a team. You have to recognize that these people are more athletic than you, and, that's okay. They put in the work, and that's what you get when you put in the work. But when you see that, it doesn't mean you back down.
Absolutely. Because you got to...
Oh my God. The coach did a big jump there.
Yeah, because he was diving out, and they still gave it to him.
Still get... It's rough. That's rough as a coach. 16 seconds left. Tied game. You don't really have a foul to give. If you foul, they're going to the line. And we have a timeout here.
Absolutely.
Crunch time. Right? This is what you want. This is why you play basketball, for these opportunities.
Absolutely. And folks, the timekeeper, the scoreboarder, did a horrible job here. I know him personally. So you still have some time here in the fourth quarter for Boone Grove, probably about 16 seconds. Enough to get a shot off here. They need a kind of a Morgan Township girls stand at this moment to force it into overtime.
Right, yeah, and cheerleaders doing their thing. Band also doing their thing. I'm sure very entertaining for everyone that decided to show up tonight. Big crowd, as per usual. And both are coming out of their timeout here. Hopefully locked in. Ready to hopefully respond if Boone Grove is able to make 1 or 2 of these free throws. Or just 1, I believe. Lots of noise. Oh! Too long and he misses it. Probably 10 seconds left on the clock here. Satellite's looking to get any shot up to hopefully win this, if not going to overtime. Oh! Almost
just in
made it.
and out.
And Boone Grove shooting it. No, it's too short. We're going into overtime.
That's the end of regulation. With the score of
All right.
4
Ready,
more
go.
minutes. 4 more minutes in the fifth here on Regan's Corner Sports Network, our rebroadcast of this thrilling game. Raina, has it lived up to the legendary status of Riley Popwell's podcast, who was probably the all-time winningest girls basketball player in South Central's history? That's why we rename it the Popwell Cast. For you folks at home wondering why it's called the Popwell Cast, that's why. So, kind of going towards that. Originally, this slot was for the girls' game we saw yesterday with Westville, but after this throwing of a game, we couldn't have put anything other than the Boone Grove and South Central game in there.
Absolutely. And, this coming off of a JV overtime game, with the Satellites winning. Again, like I said, I was hoping to see a foreshadowing. Didn't quite know it would pan out this way. Very exciting. A long night here with both games going into overtime, but I'm sure no one's complaining. And we have another tip-off, and we have our very own Colton Bennett. Oh, just kidding. Never mind. He's still there. They just switched the sides. All right.
Derek Welsh is very confused, as we all are.
I know, but he needs to get unconfused real quick because we're about to start. Oh, just kidding. Lots of confusion, as you were saying before. He's very confused. You gotta stay there until tip. And Boone Grove gets it to start out the 4 minutes of this fifth. And again, the spin move, but doesn't make it.
And again, on that tip-off, you can kind of tell that South Central is kind of trying to run a play there on the tip-off because you can see that Derek Welsh was foreshadowing the kind of the play that they were going to run. And then this Boone Grove fan thought that this side of the camera would have been too much, so she went right into the action. So I am sorry I called that out in the broadcast, but it is what it is. And it's a tied game here with 3:24 to go.
And Boone Grove passing it around doing their normal, and they get the layup.
And they drive and get into two there, kind of get into that lead, more of a comfortable situation for Boone Grove.
Yeah. And the Satellites get the foul there. Colton Bennett gets the foul. Boone Grove thought it was a travel. No way that was a travel, but they're passing it in on the baseline. A little give and go back to Colin Ward.
These two teams been kind of orbiting around each other the whole game. This is why it's kind of going into overtime as well and stuff like that. But now the Satellites are chasing the arena.
Right, yeah. I mean, the whole game has been very close. Like I was saying before, there, no one was really going into a drought or, racking up the lead. So, the whole game has been nail biting. And the Wolves are up by 2, 61-59. Satellites hoping.
And on that layup there, sorry Randall, about that, but on the layup there, you need Colin Ward to finish with the right hand. Because he's starting to get nervous with the defender coming in here. So if he finishes with that left hand, you have a tied ball game.
Right, and again, you have to notice the defender, and if you decide to drive, then you decide to drive. But you got to see the defender and either lean into them or not drive. Really, like you're saying, when you kind of second guess yourself, you're not going to make the shot.
Absolutely. And Jay Horta just, what did we say about the kid? He's Mr. Clutch. Kind of Derek.
He really is.
Derek Welsh has that mantra too, but defensively they need to be a little bit more active, like they are on offense. Kind of stops to kind of get themselves right in a situation where it's key to do so.
Right, I think they're playing off a little bit too. A few players have racked up a few fouls, and I believe they're in double bonus now. Do they wipe away the fouls with the fifth, or do they keep them up?
Oh, they keep them up.
Yep, certainly in double bonus or close to it. So those fouls are worth a little bit more than what they were before. And we have another timeout.
Brandon Grass fouling out. Colton Bennett's done a really good job with not fouling in certain situations. because then you could kind of see and around there in that situation. That was probably Colton Bennett's assignment, but rather foul or take a chance of fouling. He kind of just man a door a little bit. But if you're a teammate, you got to know that your teammate has 4 or is close to a foul because it's on the scoreboard. So you got to know those things kind of in whatever, step in and make it a little bit of a harder shot.
Right. And I think we haven't seen a lot from Bennett. He was pretty big at the beginning of the game. Right now, he's not been the star of the points. Hoping to see him do his layups like he was before. Those were big game, and the Satellites need some fouls here.
Those are huge. I'd like to see Bennett more as kind of a decoy a little bit more. It's kind of why
what?
you have, like a detour. I don't know.
Yeah.
Decoy.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes,
Yeah,
I got
feel ya.
a little tongue tied there, but that's what I want to see him a little bit because you are in foul trouble. I want to
Right,
see you
yeah.
kind of drive, pick. Don't put yourself in a situation where you can pick that 5. Stroud just misses that layup to put him up.
Looking for that foul, you gotta look for the shot. It just wasn't there. You're guarded by 2 people. That's a hard shot to make, but that's all right. He can make up for it now on defense. And look at him, he's in it. As per usual, he's excited and moving around, creating a lot of energy for the Satellites as Boone Groves just passed her around. They're up by 1, right? No pressure for them. Actually, that's a lie. A lot of pressure for them, but don't need a shot. They take a 4-3, and it's not there, but they get the rebound, and they get the 2 points. Satellites looking to respond. Down by 3 with only less than a minute left. Satellites again passing it around, going in for a layup. Strauss makes it.
And Stroud was a
Timeout.
little styling and profiling. And you could see coach is very mad at the freshman for not working a little bit harder with that over the back kind of thing that Jay Horsa could have sold a little bit more.
Right, yeah, I think those fouls are really getting in their heads here, making them play a little scared, which is not what you want right now. You need to be intimidating, you be confident, and you gotta want to win. Down by 1.
Absolutely. You gotta
It's
have
your
that.
game to lose now.
Rest in peace, Kobe Bryant. But you gotta have that Mamba mentality in that situation, knowing that there is a center right behind you. You got to box out a little bit harder. And if you feel like he's reaching over, go back into him because most likely he's reaching over you. So make him look like he's over the back because
Right, yeah.
he's so much taller. That was just, thank you. Outlet.
Just a little cherry pick there. Yeah, you're totally right. And you gotta try to get the ball right. If you have hands on the ball and they have hands on the ball, that's over the back immediately. And we have the Satellites in a press, telling them to come up a little bit more. Just traditional diamond press. Just looking to make a mess up on a pass and to get the ball so that they can get in the lead here as they're down by 1. With, let's see, let me see the scoreboard, we'll see how many seconds left, and another timeout. Yeah, this last minute's the longest minute ever. Plenty of timeouts. Lots
Absolutely.
of talking to do.
But Clayton Stroud, you could tell he plays football because he goes balls to the wall
Yep.
the whole game long because he almost gets that key or steal right there. They almost go to another lane here. Maybe a basket. See, I'm so excited. My words aren't even going. Might get a layup there, and you're winning this ball game. But in this situation, you just don't want to put it to a 4-point game.
Yeah, exactly. You want to keep it to a 1 possession ball. And do you know whose ball this coming in?
It is Boone Groves.
Boone Groves, yeah, this is a tough position for the Satellites. You got not only get a steal without fouling, but also to score off that steal and to get another stop. And that's the thing. But that's a lot of things to do in the last 30 seconds. It's a lot of being tactical, right? You want to get the last shot, and 9 fouls. They're double bonus soon. Got to keep disciplined hands. And you know you're tired. They're all tired. And Boone Grove looking to pass it in, and they do over the half court. And you got to get on ball. You got to get on it. And in the passing lanes.
Another timeout.
With 21 seconds left. They'll be in the same position with Boone Grove bringing it in. Satellites trying to get a stop. Yeah, I mean, you know what you got to do at this point, right? Coach is probably going to drop a few plays. You're going to have to figure it out.
You got to be sound on defense here. You can't let them get any space to make this into a more stressful game than it needs to be. Execute on the defensive side and then go finish on the opposite side. It sounds easy, but it's going to be super hard in this situation with two equally skilled teams.
Exactly, yeah. And like you're saying, they need to stop without fouling to keep it within a one-possession game. And, the good thing here is that they don't need a 3. They just need a layup or to get fouled on a layup and get some free throws.
Absolutely.
Lots of options here. The Satellites to get the win. And your Boone Grove, you're just wanting either to get fouled so you can get to the line and make it either they have to get a 3-point to win. And you're looking to get the time off the clock. Both teams have big roles to fill. And of course, we're hoping that the Satellite come out on top. Here, Boone Grove's bringing it in again. We have a foul. We have Higley fouling there, and Boone Grove is going to go to the line.
See,
1-1.
This is a very great kind of strategy here. You at least keep it into a one-possession game. You're kind of doing a Ben Simmons hack here, kind of to get the player kind of in a little bit of a pressure situation.
Yeah, I mean, the person on the line's feeling a lot of pressure right now. He can't quite seal the deal on the game, and he misses the first one. It's not going to happen.
He's feeling the pressure, okay?
Yeah, Fortin. He came on my radar, actually, coming into the game off the bench, hitting a clutch shot. So he's been there, done that in a previous game. Let's hope he can do it again. Done it a lot during this game, too. And he makes the second. It's a 2-point game. Satellites bring it up, just probably looking for a layup with 2-point, maybe looking for a 3, too. And they're going in for the layup. Bennett takes it in, and he makes it. Bennett has been great on his driving. Excited to see him make that shot, too. And Boone Grove is looking to just get another shot off. He shoots a 3.
Game.
And that's good. And you see the Boone Grove so excited, running onto the court off the camera. Oh, big dog pile. Happy to see that for them, but it's sad for the Satellites and a great bench player coming off there as we see Hatchell coming to support his teammates. You love to see that.
Love to see it, especially when you get the drive, you get the formation. It's just you have that moment, that Paul Pierce-like moment, okay, where if you interview that kid at the moment, he's not going to say, I called bank, but
Exactly.
I mean, he might as well have at that time zone there, because you knew it was in as soon as he released it off of his hands.
Yeah, really shot that just out of his pocket. Disappointing loss for the Satellites, but a great game for the game of the week.
Absolutely. And we will be taking a little bit of a break from the Popwell cast next week because the Knox game was the blowout and the West Central game was a little bit too far in the time zones because it was last year. So we'll be back with a great game for you, a great 2 games. Raina, it's your first game when you're calling, well, second because you called volleyball, but this is your first basketball game when you're calling the Tri-Township versus South Central rivalry, which is a pretty big rivalry. So either live or here on the Popwell cast, big games. So the first game won't be the boys' game. I'll be on the call. Raina and Matt will be on the call. And then we'll possibly be in the producer's seat for the second game where we have an ESPN announcer who's been there for 25 years doing the girls' game with a possibility of Harold Walters as well. So we have a big time thing there for you. And please go support your Satellites, even though it's on another network, on regional sports, arguably probably our rival network, but go support them because we are what we are. We promote athletes. That's what Regan's Corner is all about. So we will be watching on regional sports. So I want you guys to watch it. And then subscribe to us so we still are ahead on YouTube. But anyway, stay in orbit, my friends, and go Satellites.